We'll wait just a. Yeah, I see some familiar names. Our groupies are back. Look at that, Heidi and Julie.
Hello, hello.
Oh, it's exciting.
It's
Good to
always
see you.
great to see new people. Great to see familiar faces. So
Yeah.
it's very cool. Well, it is noon. We could do a little bit of an intro as people are trickling in.
Sure. Go ahead, Julie.
Yeah, go for
Well,
it.
we're doing our sleep class. This is the start of what we tend to do in summer are theme classes. So, being able to apply mindfulness to different aspects of one's life. And I'm pretty sure that there isn't a person among us who hasn't had sleep issues at times. So it's a good one. I'm Julie Bresinski. I'm a neuroscientist. Maybe
Hi, everyone.
you guys can.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Great to see you all. New ones and returnees. I'm Heidi Sherwin, and I am a yoga and mindfulness instructor. Great to be here with all of you.
Thank you, Heidi and Julie. I'm Laurel Falconberry, and I'm an outpatient therapist at Chestnut Ridge, and been part of our mindfulness team for, I think, around 6 years, Julie.
Something like that, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Time starts to get all weird.
Yeah.
We present both experiential and some informative materials in this class. So a lot of it is really just about being gentle and kind to yourself. If that's one message that we would like to have you come away with, is that if you can be gentle with yourself and also be gentle with yourself when you're not being gentle with yourself, that sounds like a paradox. Absolutely happens. And maybe I will start with the science. The science is really going to show you why there tends to be more issues at night with like kind of thoughts waking us up. And let me see, and how mindfulness can help. So again, gentleness is really the main message. Think of puppies as if you have to. It's really important to understand why you need to be kind to your brain at night, because it is not operating on all its cylinders. So their processes doesn't all have purpose. All of them going to go awry, and they're the yoga, the breath we're doing today is creating balance between the brain regions. So when it becomes a little unbalanced at night, you have some tools to balance. So one of the things, rumination, is what I'm going to talk about, because that's like when we start thinking and thinking and thinking. And it's like, why would my brain ruin my mood? Like, whose side are you even on? And it seems like our brain is supposed to be doing things that are beneficial to us.
Heidi, are you there?
Theo, we just lost Julie in Cyberland.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to I'll start talking about some of the ways to help with sleep hygiene. And then when Julie comes on, she'll talk more about the science.
Yeah.
So as soon as she comes back on, I'll stop talking. So for sleep hygiene, and some of these I'm sure you've heard of. Oh, there, I see Julie. Okay,
I am here. I'm not sure. It could happen again. If it happens again, what I'm going to do is give you guys some of the PowerPoint later. But let's see if it'll work again. It's as I sort of mentioned, I'm at a location, that everything was working out in its tests, but not, okay. So rumination is things like, I get worked up just thinking about things that have upset me in the past, or remember things that upset me, and it makes me angry for a long time afterward. And so they give people these kind of questions, and then you might say like, oh, that happens to me all the time. That only sometimes happens, or not all the time. Everyone ruminates. Everyone thinks about their past or gets bothered by stress that comes up at night. But how much you do depends a little bit on, certain factors. And the word ruminant actually comes from thinking about a cow chewing its cud. You had some sort of stress in the day, and now you're chewing it over. They can get to sleep. They took people who were high and low ruminators, and they exposed them to a fake stressor where they had to give a speech in front of two people from the lab who were dressed in white lab coats and totally stone-faced, and they were, just like making notes and staring down the person. So it felt very intimidating, right? And so, when there wasn't that stressor, okay, it didn't matter if you were a ruminator, but if you were a high ruminator and you had to give that speech, you were just like, oh man, that was terrible. Why did I say that? It was so stupid. Or like, these experimenters are terrible. Why did they put me through that? All those types of thoughts were keeping them up about an hour versus going to sleep within 10 minutes. So if you're kind of low, if you tend to have that quality, again, being gentle on yourself, and not, oh, it's terrible, I have that. No. But if you notice that, then you need to maybe take some precautions to be like, ooh, I had something stressful happen. This might happen to me at night. Maybe I need to have something ready to go, right? Like a nice positive message or some beautiful flowers to look at to get my mind off. And that's, these researchers developed a mind after midnight hypothesis that basically says the parts of your brain that put the brakes on your crazy thoughts and brake on, it's not rational at all. It's really expensive to run those areas of the brain, and it's takes more energy than the emotion areas. The emotion areas are set up because at night you might have a danger, growing up in our species, and tribal might have had a tiger come at night, so you have to keep that area awake. And because of that, you might think you're being attacked by people in your life, or things somebody said about you or something, and it becomes magnified to the 10th degree. And the parts of your brain that put the brakes on, they make a lot of waste, and your little helper cells in your brain are cleaning up that waste at night. And so they have to kind of turn down your prefrontal cortex in order to clean it out. And Heidi said a wonderful thing during our planning meeting. She's like, you can't use your closet when you're cleaning it, right? Everything's kind of a mess. You can kind of use it, but you kind of have to work a little harder to use it, right? Well, the prefrontal cortex that puts the brake on the crazy thoughts is kind of like half awake, it's kind of sleeping. And the parts of your brain that are very emotional and vulnerable are very much awake. And that unbalance can create problems because from the sun actually kind of tells those areas of the brain to be nice and awake or to go to sleep. Now, if you are, for example, and then you could get fear, anxiety, depression, hopelessness, all those things. So this mind after midnight hypothesis says that, well, you could also engage in risky behavior. If anybody, my hand is raised, eaten entire boxes of granola bars at night. You don't have the rational mind to say, wait, maybe I shouldn't eat all of those granola bars. So those types of things can happen, and also maybe the entire world doesn't hate me, right? So just being understanding that, hey, go home, your brain. or finding something, whether it's humorous, whether it's gentle, or whether it's like, don't leave your thought that night. Understanding that your brain is kind of like that could be helpful. Also, my department, Randy Nelson and his wife Courtney DeVries have done research that shows that blue light is really important as part of the circadian cycle. So if you or any of you are watching this in a part of the night shift, you are kind of training your brain on a different circadian cycle. And as long as you block your eyes or have blackout blinds, it's not as bad as you would think, but you're a little bit, have to be a little more gentle than with yourself too. But also know that if you get up in the middle of the night and you're putting on your phone, which has a ton of blue light, that can cause disruptions in your circadian cycle as well, which can lead to more wakefulness and make it harder for you to sleep. So even very, very dim blue light, and a lot of things, like I have a button on my lamp that's a blue dim light. I have to put something over it because people think, oh, blue is soothing. Oh no, not to the brain. It says sun is up, I'm ready to wake up. So understanding that, I'm going to show that slide. But yeah, making sure that you're able to light when you go to sleep, and especially if you are a night shift worker. And then just being kind to your brain and understanding that mindfulness can help. And so mindfulness might even be a little bit better than sleeping pills in some studies. And unfortunately, these studies are rather small, so take it with a grain of salt. But there are people who had various levels of insomnia, and you can see each of these points as a person. And these people are taking sleeping pills, and yeah, they have some improvement. And these people are doing mindfulness, and so they're becoming more non-judgmental. They're having more efficient control of their brain, so it doesn't use as much energy to put the brakes on the thought. And then it's going from severe, moderate, and mild to no insomnia, mild and moderate. And one person, we're not sure what happened with that individual. May they be well. So that is the science to just show that mindfulness can help, but mostly the message is be kind to your brain and also be careful about blue light.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Julie. And feel free to come in and out. Well, the three of us come in and out when we're talking because we all have different things to share. We come from different aspects of life. So just going off of what Julie said with being kind to your mind, our self-talk is so important. It's crucial. So if we're talking to ourselves like, oh, I'm not a good sleeper, labeling yourself. Oh, I can't do this. I just have a tendency to do this and this. Well, what we believe manifests. So be careful of your words. The I am. Be careful of what you put after I am. Like I am not a good sleeper. Let's try to reframe that to sometimes I don't sleep well, sometimes I do. How can I help myself sleep better? And I'm going to go through a list of things to help you sleep better, but really mindfulness helps to unwire your nervous system. It helps you to relax. And Heidi's going to be doing some yoga and breath work to help the nervous system. But what you think too also helps your nervous system. So try to reframe your thoughts. Like, I can do this. It may take time. It may take a lot of time, but I can do this. I think someone needs, can you please, everyone go on mute, just check someone's got some background noise. Thank you. Thank you. So the power of our thoughts. In a sense, we're not our thoughts. We are the creator of our thoughts. So be careful what you're watering, the seeds of your thoughts. Be careful what you're tending to, your thoughts that you're tending to, because that will influence your day. It'll influence how you see yourself, how you interact with other people. So just be gentle and kind and non-judgmental. Like Julie said, gentle and kind and non-judgmental. And that's like the foundation of mindfulness, is to be in the present moment with a curiosity, with kind of a wonderment, without judgment or criticism of yourself and others. So some of the things to make sure to check in your bedroom are, do you have enough darkness? Because like Julie said, if there's some light in the room, that could keep you awake. It changes your circadian rhythm. And then research shows, try not to drink caffeine before 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. And cooler temperatures in your room tend to help you sleep deeper and better. Try not to exercise 3 hours before bed. And then there's a myth that you can catch up on sleep, and that is a myth. Try to keep more or less a time that you go to bed and the time you wake up, more or less. And you'll notice on the weekends, if you try to sleep later, so many of my friends and clients say, like, I can't, darn it, I'm still getting up at 7, like I'm going to work. That's just your body getting in a rhythm. Thank you, body, for trying to get me in a rhythm and get some consistency here. So do your best. And I know on weekends, I'm not going to bed at 10, it might be midnight, but then you notice how you feel, and then take notice of that. And then, is it worth it? And then that's your decision, the balance. Is it worth it? Let me see. So your worries. So throughout the day, check in with yourself, how you're feeling, how your energy is, what your thoughts are, so you can tend to yourself. Like, what do I need? Do I need a little more fresh air? Do I need some water? Am I dehydrated? Because when you get dehydrated, it can affect your mood. And what you eat can affect your mood. And lack of movement can affect your mood. So if you want to kind of mood regulate during the day, watch the thoughts, tend to them, then at night, there's a lot less to deal with. Because like Julie said, the part of the brain goes offline so that all the unconscious can come up. There's no filter. So the feelings come up like, oh my gosh, and they get magnified too, darn it. They don't come up in a reasonable way sometimes. They come up in a magnified way. And it's like, why
like
am I
that no filter? Great,
yeah, Julie,
great expression. Yeah. No, no filter is a really good.
Okay. Yeah. And so that happens to me. It happens to all of us. We're human. So in the morning, I may be like, mind, what the heck were you doing to me last night? I mean, that wasn't fair. But then I know if I tend to those things during the day, it's a lot less at night. If I tend to my mind, my body, and my spirit during the day, it's a lot less at night. So experiment with that. You'll see what I mean. And so before you go to bed, research has kind of shown that if you can focus on what you've been grateful for during the day, one thing that you felt thankful for, grateful for, use the word that fits best for you, that you can kind of like end the day on a good note, so to speak. And like Julie said too, watching something funny or something lighthearted can help, right? Yeah. So I like watching my friend's goats in her backyard jumping all over the place. I mean, it brings, it's hilarious. So try not to eat. Well, did we talk about chocolate? Try not to eat chocolate too late. I love dark chocolate. I try not to eat it after 7 at night. Sometimes it's at 9. So it's your choice of how you're going to sleep. It's a balance. And then, alcohol, not too much alcohol right before you go to bed. That can wake you up in the middle of the night, and it's a diuretic. You can be going to the bathroom, and that can disturb sleep too. And then practice a few minutes of mindfulness. You can go on our website to listen to some of our videos, some of our audio relaxation videos, or you can go on YouTube and just put in the search bar guided meditation for anxiety or guided meditation to help sleep. But we're going to give you some tools now. Well, these are ideas, and we're going to actually give you some experiential tools now. So Heidi, would you like to go ahead?
Hello, absolutely. Thank you, Laurel.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to, in a moment, I'll be moving to my chair back there, but I'll stay close. I'm going to spotlight for everyone so that when I'm back there, you can all see me. If you have your Zoom currently on, what is it? The Brady Bunch view, gallery view, maybe switch it to speaker view so that when I do the movement, you can just see me and you'll see the shapes and everything a little better. But oh my gosh, I'm really passionate about this topic. I value my sleep. I'm not the best at always keeping to my routine and rhythm of sleep hygiene. But it's one area of my life that I've found throughout the years that it really helps me with my own anxious feelings that pop up during the day, or some of my depressive tendencies, that watching my sleep patterns and what might affect my sleep is one of my go-to first aids. And just following some of Laurel and what Julie was sharing, if you are in a place, these are some things that I have some things that are from my bedside I thought I'd share with you. If you are in a place that, let's say you do not have blackout curtains, or there's just a stream of light, or if you're like me and you have some kids in the house, so there's night lights maybe in the hallway and there's just a little glare of that you can see, get yourself like a cool little eye mask that you could put over to block some light. I like the soft ones, but it does give me just that sense of blocking light. And it also just allows me to like tap into like, okay, my eyes are closed. It's a little bit harder to keep opening my eyes when I have a soft eye mask on. And something that my mother used to do when I was little, I did it for my kids, and sometimes I'll do it for myself if I'm in the middle of the night or going to sleep, overthinking mind, going to what Julie said, that prefrontal cortex. I do a little like actual sweeping and touching, or, I remember with my girls, I would just sweep their foreheads when they were little babies, but I'll do this to myself. I'll just drape down my forehead. And for me, it's very soothing. You might like to try that. I'll even do it sometimes in the middle of the day if I'm kind of getting into what Laura was talking about, like, kind of more of my overactive mind. Also, in a little bit, when I'm doing some movement, we'll do a little foot massage. So by my bedside, I also have some lotion because I like to rub lotion on my feet at night. Earplugs by my bedside, just in case I need them, for anybody snoring with me, or birds chirping at 4 a.m. I love the birds, but they do wake me up, and I'd like to sleep an extra hour or two. And then if you enjoy essential oils, or just lotion that smells good, just aroma that smells good and to use smells like nighttime sleep, maybe have that by your bed. But part of sleep hygiene is like having things accessible to you. So I have like a little thing on my bedside table, and it's right there. I don't have to go looking for it. It's like I get into bed and I just start my night routine. All right, so I just wanted to share that little bit, and we're going to go into some movement. And movement at the end of the day, I'm thinking of yoga and gentle activities, or even if you have a pedestrian friendly neighborhood, going for a stroll, not a run or a quick walk, but a stroll in the evening could be really nice. But yoga movement, a little different from, active exercise, right? Like going to the rec center or Planet Fitness. That type of exercise can be overheating, overstimulating if we're like really working out and making the sweat. So if we're doing that too close to bedtime, you might find it's a little trickier to fall asleep, or you might fall asleep right away, but then it kind of wakes you back up. But yoga, intentionally doing postures that are on the gentle end, slow, maybe some rhythmic movement, and then some postures where you just hang out in them in a nurturing way. That starts to click on, turn on, and downregulate for your relaxation response, right? The part of our nervous system that helps us feel a little more in the zone of calm, right? A little more in the zone of, okay, I'm safe here to fall asleep, and I have all my needs met right now. You kind of get this felt sense that, I can journey into slumberland. Also, gentle movement, that helps with nervous system, mind, but our muscular body, we build up a lot of tension and stress throughout the day with whatever we're doing. So doing some gentle activity at the end of the day, just to help smooth out, ease out any tightness, tension you might have carried with you, so that when you get in bed, you have a little less, even if it's like 1 or 2% less of kind of like achy discomfort from the activities that you've been doing. Wow. If you're ready, we're going to start some movement. I'm going to switch over to my chair behind me. If you're in a chair, if you want a pillow behind you, you can set that up. Or you're welcome if you have the space wherever you are today and you want to sit on the floor, you can adapt all these shapes to sitting on the floor as well. All right, I'm just gonna make my stuff just a little bit bigger. And here we go. So taking a seat in your chair, and if you're sitting way back in your seat, maybe take a moment and scooch just a little further towards the edge. And allow yourself to land right where you are. You might like to place your hands onto your legs. And then gather a sense of grounding down towards the floor. And it's gathering any amount of that sensation. Sometimes you might feel a little numb or might feel foreign to you to notice feet to the floor. But start to lean into the possibility. It could be a little or a lot today. Floor coming up to meet the feet, hips to legs, grounding down to meet the floor. And then from your seat, whether you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, feel a little more anchored into your seat. And through your spine, a comfortable rising up, almost like a buoyancy coming up your spine with soft shoulders and a soft belly, any amount of soft belly to allow for the movement of your breath. And simply starting there, just taking a moment to sit and be connected to the quality of sitting, moves the mind and activity from things out in the periphery, the things we do out there in the world, to being present for you, more centering process, checking in with you. And now to start some movement, we'll start simple. At night, we don't need to do anything complex, but starting with simple movements, let's relieve the shoulders. So start with a few shoulder rolls. Doesn't matter which direction, allowing the shoulders to move. And then you can change direction with the shoulders. And you might find your pace of movement might be slower or faster than me. So don't let my cues like rush you or make you feel too slow. Great. All right, let's let that be from the rolls. And now we're going to get a little more of like a figure eight. So one over the other. And maybe you're going backwards or forwards. But you might notice with the figure eights, your rib cage gets a little more activity here. It's freeing up around the trunk of the body. Maybe change directions if you haven't already. And then find a little bit of neutral. Finding neutral, reset, maybe noticing the rhythm of the figure eights, find some stillness again, centering back to just seated. And now some cat and cows. With your hands resting to your legs, with an exhale, draw the belly back towards the back of your chair and hands will slide more towards the knees and gently gaze down. Now, as you start to breathe in, start to sit tall, maybe just pausing, sitting tall, or start to back bend a little bit, rolling shoulders open and lifting your gaze slightly. And now find some rhythm and repetition for you. You'll exhale, round like a little cat. Inhale, sitting up a little bit taller, maybe roll open the shoulders. And I'll turn a little sideways so you can see cat and cow. And our cat and cow is a great way to invite in this breath-led movement, which creates a rhythm and repetition that our nervous system sometimes craves. Right? It craves something that is predictable so we can feel a little more grounded and calm for the full experience. Take 2 more rounds of your cat-cow. And then after your next time into cow pose, reset once again, a neutral seated posture. Quick moment to check in to see how you're feeling. And now we'll move in a little more to the legs. So inviting your right leg, placing your right ankle on top of the thigh, if that's available today. You can even extend the left leg a little bit. Right. And now here comes a foot massage. Your right foot's right there. Give your foot just a little rub. Now, if you have shoes on, maybe, just massaging your shin, the lower leg. But if your foot is free, giving a little hello. It doesn't have to be too long. Now, I put lotion on my feet every night, so it's just real quick, but it is grounding to say hello to the feet. And then releasing that, hands can rest to the shin or maybe slide them back more towards the upper thighs, shoulders relax. As you have your right leg lifted, take your right hand over to your left shoulder. And so we'll add a little element for the neck here as well. Now drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Your right hand is just a very gentle guide to the left shoulder, letting it release, inviting some stretch to the left side of the neck. And now bringing the head back up, releasing the right hand. And now lean back slightly into your chair, release your right foot, and if available, hold on to your hamstring on the right leg. Just a little lean back. If you want, you could even hug the thigh in slightly, or simply hold the leg free in space. And now let that be. Bringing your right foot down, extend the leg all the way out. I think you can't quite see my foot there, but extend the right leg, left knee still bent. Give your ankle a little twirl. You could stay seated up tall, or if you'd like, now lean forward slightly. You could rest your left forearm onto your left thigh. A little lean, feel sensation in your back as you lean into this fold. And then we'll take that out. Bring the right foot back in and we'll switch that up. So now left foot, bring it onto the right thigh, adjusting that if needed. Taking a moment to say hello to your left foot. Or again, if you have shoes on, maybe just massaging the lower leg. And inviting in sensation that helps ground us from like being way up high at the top of the mountain peak to like a little more earthy, ready for nighttime. All right, and then letting that be, letting that go, holding this leg in figure 4, take your left hand to your right shoulder. And now left ear towards the left shoulder. You may notice each side might feel a little different as you're lengthening, stretching right side of the neck. Allowing the body to breathe. And then bringing that back up, releasing the left hand, leaning back, holding the hamstring underneath the left leg. You could just hold the leg or hug it in a little bit. And now releasing the foot. Stretching out the leg. So I have my heel on the ground, my toes are up. You can give the ankle a little wiggle for a moment. And now resting your right forearm onto the right thigh, and any amount, if it feels okay today, lean in a gentle fold here with the long left leg. And now taking that back out. Nice. So our last 2 moves here, we'll add a twist and 1 more fold. I'm going to turn my seat so you can see the twist a little bit better. So if you're sitting on the edge of your seat, turn slightly. If you do have an arm on your seat, it's okay to sit on the edge. You'll still be able to turn. But if you can slide sideways, we'll take the twist from here. So with a tall spine, turn to face the back of your chair and allow your hands to hold the back of the seat. Shoulders relaxed down. Feet grounded to the earth. Any amount, start to turn the trunk of the body. Whether you went to the right or left, doesn't matter. We'll take both sides. Twists, I find, especially at the end of the day, it's like that wringing out of the day. So very gently feel that wringing out of the trunk of the body, of the spine. And now let that be, let it go. We'll take that to the other side. So you can spin your way around. My back's going to be towards you for a moment. And take your hands to the back of the seat, feet grounded to the earth. Any amount, ease it into your rotation, your twists, maybe turning your gaze and neck along with the rotation. Allowing the breath to come in, providing a little movement into the twist as you hold it. And then letting that be, letting it go, coming through neutral. Right, and then back around to the edge of your seat. Last shape here, inviting in a forward fold. You might like to take your feet a little bit wider. Starting the fold, bringing your elbows onto your thighs. It might feel great to stay right here. Or if it's comfortable and you're curious today to go a little more, reach your hands towards the floor, grounding your hands there, and tuck your chin in slightly to release the head. And explore this any amount. If it feels good to keep going, you could lower the body more between the legs, but pause in a place where the shape feels comfortable. Adding in this fold invites in a slight inversion where the more you lower, the head becomes lower than the heart. And now from your fold, walk your hands up onto your thighs, coming up to a seated position. Keep the legs wide if that feels great, or you can walk them back in. Arms drop by your side. Let's take one inhale, breathe those arms all the way up. And release the arms down by your side. Great. Hands back to the starting point, resting to the legs, feet connected to the earth. A moment to check in with you. See how you're feeling. Notice what you notice. There's no wrong answer as you drop into this mindful moment. I'll be offering a breathing practice a little later in our class. But for now, switching back to Laurel, who will guide us in a body scan.
Well, thank you, Heidi. So keeping this inward focus perspective, coming into the body, we've been in the body, let's stay here. And now you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, or a fuzzy gaze downward, whichever feels more comfortable. And so let's go ahead and do that now. Close our eyes or a fuzzy gaze down. And let's bring our awareness to our breath. Just noticing your next inhalation and your next exhalation. And allowing your breath to flow like a feather on a cloud or the waves on the ocean. And easy in and easy out, with nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being here present. Without controlling or holding your breath in any way, letting your breath be free. Free of any kind of control, just floating in and out effortlessly. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the chest. Now we're going to do what's called a body scan. So let's bring our awareness to our feet, grounded to the earth. And let's become aware of our toes. Go ahead and wiggle your toes. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and pinky toe. The soles of your feet, the top of your feet, your ankles, your left ankle, your right ankle. And bringing your awareness into your left calf, your right calf, your left knee, your right knee. Now moving up to your left thigh and right thigh, front and back. Moving into your left hip and right hip. And now noticing the full weight of your body on what you're sitting. The full weight. Now notice any sensations in your left leg or right leg. Whatever they may be, approaching that with a curiosity of like a child, wonderment, openness, observing. And notice your breath again. Are you holding it in any way? That's okay, just let it go. Let your breath, if you need to take a deep cleansing breath, go ahead and do that. And release it with a sigh if you'd like. Letting go a little bit more. And now let's travel up the body in our body scan of awareness. Let's travel up our lower back, in the front of the body, the belly. Bring your awareness to your middle back. And then the front of your body in that area, the diaphragm. So we're mirroring the back to the front of the body. The middle back to the diaphragm area. Just noticing what you notice. With a curiosity. Now bringing your awareness to your upper back. Your left shoulder, your right shoulder. And now your heart area, your upper chest, in the front of the body. Your heart and your lungs. Maybe sharing some gratitude for those organs, all of the organs, for what they do for you, how you work together. Now bringing your awareness down to your left hand, starting with your thumb, your pointer finger, your middle finger, ring finger, and pinky, your palm, your upper hand, your wrist, your forearm, front and back, your left elbow, your left upper arm, front and back. Now sensing your whole left arm. If there's any sensations in particular, just observing with kindness and curiosity. Now moving down your right arm to your right hand, your thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. The palm of your right hand, the upper part of your right hand, your wrist. Moving to your forearm, the top of your forearm, the back of your forearm. And now your elbow. Moving up to your upper arm, the front and back. Now noticing your whole entire right arm. Any sensations. Allowing them to be without judgment, with a sense of curiosity and kindness. Now moving your awareness up to the front of your neck, your larynx. Now the back of your neck. Bringing your awareness now up into your scalp, the whole area of your scalp. Notice your breathing, allowing it to flow in and out easily and gently. Now feeling into your hair. Bringing awareness to your left ear and your right ear, your left eye and your right eye, and your forehead, your nose, your left cheek and right cheek, your lips, and now your jaw. Now feeling the full sensation of the mask of your face, your scalp, the totality of your head. Just notice what you notice without judgment. And now bring a full awareness of your body from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head. Feeling a fullness of awareness of being truly present in this beautiful body. All of the organs, the veins, all of what's inside working with you and for you together with yourself in this non-judgmental kind way. Now bring your awareness back to your room, your feet grounded deeply into the earth, and open your eyes as you're ready. And know that you can do this for seconds or minutes during the day to regain the sense of groundedness, connectedness, and peace. Thank you. And Julie?
Well, I am going to go off my picture in case, maybe in case the bandwidth would be a little bit better if I did that, although it's been maintaining itself. I don't know, I feel weird about doing that. I'll try it and we'll give it one shot. But I want to do a compassion meditation exercise that you can do at night if you do have to stay up. And we're going to address, Kim has some really excellent questions there. We're going to address people who have to stay up or who have night shifts or multiple days. But whether you're awake by need or in the middle of the night, it feels a little aversive. And you can do a compassion exercise to be kind to yourself. So this is a 5-minute exercise. Maybe even I can do it in 3 minutes so that we can have enough time to discuss. So imagine yourself, 3 minutes in the future, and have an image of how you would like yourself to feel 3 minutes from now. You would like yourself to feel relaxed or calm or more cheerful or assured if you're, or less, less worried, or whatever it is that you wish for that self 3 minutes in the future. Kind of imagine sending that. So this is a practice called tame that I learned from a man named Lama Yeshe Soltru. And it involves sending with the breath all the kindness and care that you would want for yourself 3 minutes in the future. And imagine that person is receiving it and feeling happier, more uplifted, less worried, more happy, more relaxed. And then when you breathe in, you imagine taking away any of the worries and stress, anxiety that person 3 minutes that you would want to remove so that your person can feel more relaxed. So you kind of imagine kind of breathing that out, and it comes out of them almost like your self a couple minutes in the future, and then breathe to them a sense of relaxation, upliftedness, happiness. So we can try this for a while. And it's sort of riding on the breath, right? So you're breathing, every time you breathe out, you imagine seeing yourself, how you would like yourself to feel, calm, ease. And then when you breathe in, imagine taking away any of those worries or stresses of that person. Okay, so let's give that a try. Or in the middle of the night, you could even imagine feeling like they could get to sleep. Or if you're in the day, feeling confident and a sense of purpose. We've arrived at the 3 minutes. You are that person. And so this was maybe a very short sample. The recommendation of the person who taught me this practice was about 10 minutes. So if you are up in the night or you're having trouble falling asleep, you can imagine yourself sort of 10 minutes in the future that's able to have the strength and resilience to face any of the challenges you have. Whatever it is, you can be creative, and a lot of this will differ on your personality and what you might like more vivid imagery, or you might want more of the calm imagery. And then you can, do this kind of gentle. And if you have like, oh no, you really want to solve problems at night, your brain really feels that the more I think about it, the more I really, really think about it, I'm going to think through that solution. And again, that go home, you're drunk. You can't, the solution is not now. It's okay, brain. You're just cleaning up right now. So you're, the parts I normally have to balance out that, worry, to balance out anxiety are kind of half asleep right now. And good night. It's okay. We're all going to go to sleep. And we're going to think about that in the morning. Maybe you need to write down some things. So we have, do we have one? Heidi? Oh, no.
Hi, yes, switching to.
And then I do really want.
Oh, great. Thank you, Julie. Okay, so I'd love to, now that we're in this zone, oh my goodness, Laurel and Julie, those were great. So staying in this zone, going into a breathing practice, I'll offer you how to do an alternate nostril breath technique. And alternate nostril breathing, it helps to soothe and balance the nervous system, kind of floating the breath from the right to the left. I often like to think of it like a little tennis match in my brain that kind of tires it out just enough as I'm doing it, and knowing that it's kind of harmonizing my nervous system, that from tiring the mind out, the mental activity, giving it something to focus on, I drift more into that, again, that sleepier state. I'll often do this during the day too. It's one of my go-to breathing practices. If during the day I'm just feeling energetically, emotionally, that I could spend just a couple minutes kind of resetting, recalibrating my nervous system. So let's see, I'll spotlight again for everyone. So alternate nostril breathing, you'll be breathing through alternate nostrils, but you'll be using your right hand. And if you're wearing glasses, feel free to remove those like me. Your right thumb, there's lots of ways you could close off one nostril, but the right thumb kind of go up high where it's nice and bony, and then right where it starts to get a little soft, just slightly rest your thumb there without closing the nostril yet. Let's see my mouth. And then with your ring finger, take your ring finger and pinky, and you're going to do the same thing to the left side. Find that little sweet spot where it starts to get just a little softer. Right? Now, what to do with your peace fingers? You could rest to the forehead, like I mentioned earlier. You can massage the forehead for a bit, or tuck those fingers into bed and just bring them down into your palm. Right? So I'll stay here so you can at least see my eyes. So now, finding that rhythm of just smooth breath. Laurel and Julie helped guide us there. Noticing that you're breathing here. And you're breathing through both nostrils. Taking a breath in, letting a breath go. And now taking a breath in through both nostrils. At the top of that breath, gently close your right nostril. Exhale out the left. Now, it might feel a little congested, so just be gentle there. And then you'll inhale the left nostril. Gently close the left nostril at the top, release the right thumb, breathe out the right nostril. Staying on the right, inhale when you're ready, right nostril. At the top of that breath, gently close the right, open the left, exhale left nostril. And repeating that, inhale left nostril. Right at the top of that breath, close the left and exhale out the right. Inhale right nostril. Gently close the right, exhale left. Take a few rounds at your own pace, not feeling rushed. Just trying it out. You may have practiced this before. It could be quite new to you. Take another round so that you exhale out the left nostril. Whenever that happens, you'll exhale left. Release your hand completely and inhale through both nostrils. Exhale both nostrils. Allow the body to breathe, both nostrils taking in the air. Notice what you notice. Maybe it's very subtle, any shift in the quality of experience, or sometimes it's like, oh, wow, I do feel just a little different, more supported, or more at ease, or something else altogether. This is your experience. Now, one of my little tips also with alternate nostril, if you do find yourself in the middle of the night, and this is a little awkward to do back and forth, you could roll onto your either side, right or left side, but just close your right nostril. Sometimes I find resting on my right, snuggling in and just like holding my right nostril closed, it allows for more circulation and flow of breath through the left side. And I just do that for a little bit, generating more energy flow of the breath in my left nostril, because there is a focus on left nostril breathing is a little more of the down-regulated part of our nervous system. Right nostril breathing is a little more upregulated. So when we do both, they find harmony. But if we're focusing on, let's say, left, it's like we invite in just a little more of that down, 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 ground, 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 sleep, 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 a little bit of that quality. Vice versa, middle of the day, you don't have your coffee nearby, or it's 7 p.m. and you just need a little pick me up because maybe you have to do a little activity still. And if you're like me with family, you might have to still go on with some kids' activities. Do the right nostril just a little bit to upregulate slightly. So I hope you found that practice helpful and supportive. Thank you so much, everyone.
And I just put a message to Tim. I'm sorry, because I don't know how my bandwidth will go, but you can read it if you're interested in, what to do if you have worked several shifts in a row. Your brain is going to be full of that residue the day after, and just, maybe doing mindless tasks that you need to do anyway, or enjoying the outdoors, those types of things. So you can read that in there. And mindfulness has been shown to subserve some of the same functions as sleep. So it gets you partway there. So if you are doing a 24-hour shift, you will get a little bit of that maintenance done just with mindfulness. So I just wanted to mention that. We all end up like up 24 hours at some points in our lives, and maybe taking a little moment to rest if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie, could you read the chat where Tim wrote, what would you suggest on our 3 days off? I usually come home and go straight to bed and sleep till about 11. My first day off is like my head is in a cloud till the next day. I'd like your thoughts to take back to my crew.
That and my answer is I answered, that's what I was
Yeah.
referring
Yeah.
to. So yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I would say any of the practices we did today would be really great. During the shift itself, if you have a little break, that'll refresh you a little bit, especially in that midnight to 4 a.m. stretch. I would, if you can take a break, that would not be the time to say, oh, I don't need a break. You need a break. If you have an opportunity, take it.
Yeah. And I found, I just wanted to share, Julie, thank you for sharing that these practices, anytime, even during the day when we need, this is about sleep and maybe nighttime, but yeah, for working shifts, or just like during the day, maybe you didn't sleep well and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I can't nap, or maybe you're not a napper, right? But these practices, they regenerate us, they recalibrate us. And, I personally found Laurel's today and Julie following right after that, the compassion part, like a little nap for me. I wasn't in bed. I didn't have my eye mask on. I wasn't, trying to sleep for 20 minutes, but it was the practice that I now feel charged for, the activities I have the rest of the day. So you may have noticed some of that too. Yeah.
And science does back that up. It gets you
Yes.
partway there. Sometimes people who meditate and not a lot actually have less need for sleep. It's kind of interesting topic.
Yeah. Very interesting. Love it.
Oh, thank you all for coming. We want to honor your time.
Thank you.
If you want to stay and ask a few questions, we'll be here just for a few more minutes. But we'll see you next month, hopefully. I'm sure you've got the email. It's on pain. We'll be talking about how mindfulness can help with pain. And that's July 27th from 12 to 1. Yeah.